So we're going to talk about phonics versus other teaching methods that are not phonics. I was recently helping out a school with their kindergarten class. They're 4 years old, 5 years old. They were definitely being taught the sounds to the letters and the names of the letters, but they didn't really have that yet fully. They didn't know all of them. And then they were being given words to study like ball, which is a totally different sound for A, truck, book. And then they kept insisting, but they're teaching phonics. And I was like, I couldn't think with it. They were so insistent they were teaching phonics. They thought they were teaching phonics. They were not. That's not phonics. When the kid has not learned those sounds yet, they're given a word that has sounds they don't know. They cannot break apart that word and decode it and sound it out. They have no choice but to memorize it. The moral to the story is find out, look at the materials your kid is studying. Think about how big is that word? How many letters are in it? As a 4 or 5-year-old, can they actually sound those out? Do they know all the sounds to the letters that are in that word? Probably not. That is not phonics. That is word memorizing. That's called whole word language, or they have other names for it now. And a lot of times they call it phonics. It's not phonics, because phonics is the letters or the group of letters, like a couple or so, that represent a sound. That's what phonics is. Phonics is the method of teaching where you break down all those sounds. When you're just given a whole word, that's not phonics. And yet you will find that most schools, especially public schools, are not really being taught phonics. If they are, it's a little tiny bit. And even some private schools or charter schools that have a little bit more freedom, they don't even realize they're not teaching phonics. So if you do see that, you see that they can't actually sound out a 3-letter word for you, and yet you see their school materials are 4 or 5-letter words, you know that they are not really being taught phonics, or if they are, it's just a little tiny bit, and you have to take control of the situation. I'm not saying you don't have to homeschool. I'm just saying you're gonna have to supplement some of the learning so that your child does get some of that. You gotta take control of the situation, take responsibility, and one way that you can get empowered to do those is by watching videos like these and learning more about phonics and the sounds of the letters and the steps and all the things that I do.